special Earth Day themed showcase prepared for you guys with local talent from all over the city of Cincinnati. Not only are we going to bring some brilliant artists to the stage, but we also have local guest Yazi coming up to talk about the Tribe Community Garden. Without further ado, the first poet that I'm going to bring up to the stage is local mother and slam poet Lisa Marie.
Will you wait for the rain? Steadily impatient, anticipating the thrashing of the air, like marbles tumultuous, colliding in a gallery of white fire, the din of thunder rippling internally, I will wait. Steep me in the remnants of time, in wonderment has the same drop sinking past my face reflected my visage in a pool. Mirrored the faces of ancients dynamic in the Mississippi, the crescent of fertility blooming in a Kentucky squall, where water is a portal of time, dipping my fingers in yesterday's creek is today's mud puddle. I wonder if the lake at the bottom of the ocean is waiting to run through veins again, or has it already journeyed through the crevice of rock bed, the crease of a leg, the thirsty leaves bursting with the green of life, and now it rests as a tectonic brine refusing to leave its placid state. We live where the currents retire, a forever recycled state. The magic of matter, will you collect the rainwater that's traveled the earth's veins to brew your tea? Marigold, ginger, honey, thyme, steeping time, sipping tears and sweat purified to heal the tender throat, or the pulsating festival of love and agony. If you swallowed a puddle, could it heal today's pain? How long would it take to taste enough rain to heal a lifetime, the fluidity of life in vain? Because we water ourselves with sterile faucets, chemically castrated and chlorinated from our filth and perversion. I want to waft in the water sifted by earth and clay, the wetlands and the redwoods. I want to taste the sequential sentiments of eternity. No plastic packaged prescription, heal me in the magnitude of a summer downpour, galvanize me with the currents. And when the weather warns cumulonimbus, there's always a bucket of eternity on my balcony. Our waters cloud the skies. It is the kaleidoscope of rainbows drank by the straws in our gardens and in our wombs, of oceans and flows of blood and tears. Will you wait for the rain? That it carries our secrets and shame, and we can drink and be as a flower quenched by what we take for granted.
The next poet that I will be bringing to the stage is not only a poet, but they are also an amazing musician and a model as well. Please welcome Milow up to the stage.
Sometimes I hear the cry, a wailing, sour thing. Sometimes it makes me question where I've been, who I've been. I once grew accustomed to that encroaching, suffocating thing. I stopped breathing from my lungs and instead did it from my feet, from my hips. I wobbled and swayed with all the arrogance and stupidity as a drunken teenager. I slept through my days for the opportunity to absorb the night, not for the stars or the campfires or the songs, for the vast, persuading silence, for the stillness. To imagine that all time had ceased and that therefore so had I. Whatever karma I caught belonged to God and not me. Call it an awakening, or call it rebirth, or call it whatever your God may call it. I called out to the sun, and she told me that I was made of mighty metals. She told me that my bones had been forged from great hardy trees, that my blood ran like golden honey, that my kneecaps had been crafted and sewn by my ancestors. Oh, to stand, to rise, to truly stand up with your feet, with your calves, with your knees and thighs and hips, to call out and be heard, even if only by your own echo. To see the gleam of green and wade through its waters with an unwounded body. to love the night only for its stars. To see the sun rise and to wish it good night, you must live through the day. The earth will heal long after our arsonist hands have scarred her skin. I am kin of earth. Therefore my body, however broken, will heal and scar and mold into something I can use.
The next poet that I'll be bringing to the stage is not only a vocalist, songwriter, poet, but she is also a model as well. Please welcome Sappha up to the stage.
May peace be with you, and also with your spirit. I cast my bow as an arrow upon gods I did not elect, but I too have faith in many things for no reason. All year long last year, I held her near in my pocket as my body demanded. A white flag tucked gingerly away, but still everyone could see in the way I walk, the way I speak and don't speak. Surrender is somatic, almost looks like reverence when it's dark. And with fistfuls of rosaries for a name I've spoken more times through tears than while smiling, I see now, I cannot think my way out of loving you. So instead I move. I walk a green path and only see brown. I try on your side again and it does not suit me. Still I move. I move and so I forgive. Longing eclipsed by longing. Lost count of Hail Marys. Have to believe someone hears me. I know you clutch on to a different story about yourself like rosary beads. Some righteousness I hope you keep safe. Your daughter died in springtime, and so now for you, everything is blooming without her. I thought our tears in my bed were rain, watering something. But green is slow, and none of our grieving belongs to us. Held you in my arms until morning. Woke up and the whole garden was burned down. Prayed for you, and all you could hear was my voice breaking. Same way you saw her tiny veins split apart in me and called me blooming. All through the night, your fingers trembled between mine, and only I saw the light show through the lies. Even in combat, my palms are upturned, kneeling and opening my mouth, hoping you will finish the prayer. I lost my voice in springtime, and thus I thought of you. Left the church so young, but I have been watering other dead men ever since. We are in cocoons for opposite reasons now. Brown is green today. I think I will go soon. I walk, I move, and so I forgive. Longing eclipsed by longing. I never left that place. Looked down and saw the garden ash. The only proof you ever touched me. Lazily, quietly, like a fire, tearing apart any evidence a flower ever lived here. Why do I place so much importance on love? Isn't it already in the wind? The real illusion is that if I study why you have hurt me, like scripture, there will be some salvation after. But pain is immutable, as certain as all the green that is browning. I must still be a child, believing beautiful stories from men in cloaks, the way I can only see love for me in your eyes, where there has never been any. Still, I will plant some today, when I go. Looked down and remembered, the garden was here once. Sun shone through my fingers onto ash. Sometimes there is light for no reason at all. I pronounce the soil differently now. It must be that the only way out of the ground is to keep my roots here. Here. That thing I have been avoiding. I will say your name quietly when I go, until it sounds like your daughter's, like the sun. May peace be with you.
The next poet that I'll be bringing to the stage is not only a local influencer and model again herself, but she is a lovely poet. Please welcome the Angry Poet up to the stage.
What have we done to our beautiful Mother Earth? Bearer of fruit in all life, she held us for as long as she could, for she was just a vessel, not able to hold all this negativity. Now we must grow past this. Make sure no one forgets her story. Keep it in history. Don't tell them all the bad we really did. Want. What is it that you want? Keep wanting, keep consuming, keep all resources for yourself. Keep. What is it that you keep when you die? Because what will be left of Mother Earth if we keep living like this? Upkeep, however you can. I don't want this to be a place we eventually can't land. Yes, let's branch off and explore, but not off of necessity, let it be. Keep. What is it that you keep when you die? Because what will be left of Mother Earth if we keep living like this? Upkeep, however you can. I don't want this to eventually be a place we can't land. Yes, let's branch off and go farther, but not off of necessity. Let it be off of pure curiosity. Let us change so this poem means nothing. Bill Nye tried to wake us up years ago, and now we just stay in cycles because we don't want to listen. You know, what will happen when all the ice caps melt? Have you ever thought about where the water will go? We are not angry pubescent teenagers anymore. We must answer the phone when our mother is calling because we only get one in this lifetime. Too many phone calls. Bill Nye tried to warn us years ago, but we love to stay in cycles because why listen? Have you ever thought about what will happen when the ice caps melt? Where will the water go? So many natural disasters in the last 3 years, we are not angry pubescent teenagers anymore. We must answer the phone when our mother is calling. We only get one in this lifetime. Countless amounts of phones filled with too many missed calls labeled mommy. We still feel like those little kids knowing mommy is gonna have our back, but what if not this time? Moms grow old. I'm ashamed. All this money we still haven't put her in a senior home. Giving her a caregiver none. We left our mother on the street to fend for herself. Wow. Everything she came to possess, we just took it right away. Jeremiah 1, verse 4 through 5. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. And before you came out the womb, I sanctified you and ordained you a prophet unto the nations. Hear me today, the angry poet, when I say, our mother is crying for us to love her the way she has unconditionally loved us.
The next guest that I will be bringing up to this stage is Yazi Walker, coming to speak to you guys about the Tribe Community Garden.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Yazi. I am the garden director for Tribe Foundation Garden, which is located, I don't know what direction I am right now, but I think around the corner on 1110 Garden Street. And this will be our first year where we will be having food production. The past 3 years, we have spent turning dirt into actually regenerative soil with no-till methods, natural Korean farming methods, and just compost and lasagna composting. So basically all we did was just do what the forest does and try to imitate that on like a small plot of land within an urban environment. And the whole goal was to eventually get that in about like 10 to 15 years. You won't ever have to plant anything on that ever, because there will be so many things planted native. Like we have service berries, which is a native berry that's been kind of forgotten about locally. We have pawpaw trees down there. We have local plums. We have a ton of local milkweed, a bunch of native grasses. All of these things in the garden can either be eaten or turned into some form of medicine. And so the whole goal for kind of the Tribe Foundation Garden and why they trusted me, I actually wasn't ready when they trusted me. I think it was 2024, 2020. I was just like the person biggest into gardening kind of in the group at the time. And they were like, we want you to run the garden. And I was like, tight, I'm not really ready, but all right, let's run it. But that's the cool thing about being put in situations that you're not ready for, but you want. It forces you to excel and start to fill in those positions. And one of the coolest things in this process has been like consistently failing in every single aspect other than regenerating the soil. Failing with community outreach, because for instance, we have our shed broken into for the 3rd time, and we've had all of our garden equipment stolen. And as a former unhoused person, I actually don't care in the slightest that unhoused person used it to sleep in. I only care that they took from us, but I also understand that's our fault, because when you respect it in the community, people understand that, hey, you leave them alone because they do XXX, and we have not done a good enough job. So that's kind of one of the struggles outside of the soil, where you get to see, you can put all this work into it, and it's vibrant right now. You go down there and it's green everywhere. But that green don't matter if the surrounding environment and those people aren't imitating that green, to me, in the garden. And so if people are stealing from the garden, they don't feel like that's their garden. And that's a problem that's solely on us, of not reaching out and being like, so what do y'all need extra? So that's why it's cool to be a part of Tribe, because I'm only in charge of the garden. Siri, Imani, and Taylor, and Lauren, and I'm forgetting mass other names, they're in charge of all of the other amazing things. For instance, the Tribe Drive at the end of the month for PI Park, which is the 28th, the last Sunday of every month. That's this one. But we have opportunities to then take people like that and be like, yo, instead of you, we're not gonna call the cops on you, we're not gonna press no charges, we actually want to help you out. How about you come down here at the end of the month, and when we find out a plan for you, we can set a hammock down up here for you. We can actually provide resources for you. So as long as you just water some plants for us in the morning, you can kick it here all day. It's your garden as well as it's a community garden. And so that's where we are with it right now. The actual process of regenerating it was not hard, because it's just something that I want everybody to just understand about life real quick. Everything takes mad time to see the most beautiful results. And as long as you just stick with the damn plan and you follow the plan requires you to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And then after you go through all those up and downs and you're exhausted, you look up and you've already completed said plan, because you stuck to that thing. And you look up and you've developed all of this life. And what's so cool about developing that life is you just, on the outside saw you have the ability to create solid foundation within your life on the outside. So now you don't have an excuse personally within yourself to not create solid foundation however you see fit within your life. So these are the things that I really kind of want people to take in when they come down to the garden. This year will be the first year, like I said, we'll have food production. So you can reach us at my Instagram, which is Yazi13. You can reach us at Tribe Foundation on Instagram and Facebook. Message us. We'll be posting volunteering opportunities starting the first week of May. There'll be anything from mixing compost with soil, turning wood chips, pulling weeds, watering plants. And then we're starting a new program this year where it's just take care of a plant So anybody who's wanted to get into gardening and think it's this whole overwhelming thing, you just come on down and we're gonna sign a contract that don't mean nothing legally. It's just a moral contract between me and you, human being. But we just gonna sign it just to have it be serious between us. That you just gonna take care of this one plant. Just gonna make sure, and you're gonna take the effort to come down here. Or if you can't make it down there, I don't care. You figure out how to get that plant taken care of. That's all you have to do. So then you can see it's not as overwhelming. You don't gotta go start your own garden. You ain't gotta go buy all this. You ain't gotta go buy all that. You can just take care of this plant. The harvest will be yours and everything, and that's it. And then my goal with that is then I can have people finally start to get more interested in the garden, and then we can have more people like, well, how do I start a garden? And I'll be like, well, that's great, because we want to open more gardens, and I love to have more garden directors out there, because I believe in spreading the wealth. I'm not trying to be that dude. That is how people get burnt out, and that's how like weird followings happen. I want to be just where I am, and then I want to inspire other people to be in similar roles as me in other places, and then we all come together, because then we all take a brunt of the load, and everybody ain't breaking their back, and that's the whole goal with all of this. So I hope that made some semblance of sense, and I hope I ain't rattle on forever. And thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. Y'all poets, oh my God, absolutely amazing. Y'all crushed it. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful earth hearts. They really rang true. The earth is in a very, very, very fragile place right now, but it's gonna be all right once we gone. So hopefully we can plant as many seeds on the outside, so it'll be great when we leave this place. Thank y'all. I love y'all so much.
The next poet I'm going to bring up to the stage is a local influencer, model, and poet. I am every artist.
I bomb like a lotus, lustful for words to storm through a god, then clone roots like a pathology of slavery with darkened spirits that break, rocking foundations of hell, damaging true believers, trying to stick me to sleep, no anesthesia, so they can horse around our lives like equestrians with our destiny in minutes that second the spiritual soul trees growing through excursions. First, as Godfather with a wrath that scar faces, of enemies that smell pheromones of the back. What an old application. I guess time limits us to win illusions like I was watching The Shining. It only takes fear of horror to move east and west like Kanye on it. We can continue throughout life, and that more abundantly for our origins of faiths, of fathers, of all children, the great I am in every artist. Barking like trees that leaves sprout, breaking spring for infinity of reasons and seasons that close, failing habits that my past self hand me down. Just to rise from rock bottom, no Dwayne, but no Johnson doses of keys for doors that were opened by the great I am within, whom is greater than he, that he who is in Mother Earth.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Community Poetry Project. Join us next month on Cincinnati Community Television for another showcase with local talent. This is your host, Lucky Lee, signing off. Have a great night.